I'm going to get this on my VRT first.
Okay.
The International Space Station is flying from southwest to northeast across the northern Indian Ocean, about to cross the southwestern coast of India. Just minutes into today's spacewalk, the first of 2019, the 214th in support of space station assembly and maintenance.
And whenever you guys are in a good position, we're ready for your body check.
Okay, I don't see your WBS light.
Okay, I've filled back more.
Nope. Not on.
Okay. Yeah, I think it bumped off. Not on.
Okay.
Okay, good green light there.
I see green light workstation tabs up on you.
Okay.
Anne McLean, near the top of your screen, wearing the suit bearing the red stripe, says EV1 or extravehicular crew member number 1. Nick Hague at the bottom of your screen. He has a suit with no stripes, says EV2 or extravehicular crew member number 2. Before long, they will be in position to activate their helmet cameras to provide us up-close views of all of the work they'll be conducting in support of this battery swap out at the P4 truss. Once they do, Anne McLean's helmet camera will have the ghostly figure, the number 20 on the lower right-hand corner. Nick Hague's helmet camera is number 17.
Locked on my lucky ring extender, black on black. Wheels are both unlocked. Yellow hook is locked black on black, and my anchor is locked black on black.
We copy in. That's a good config. My handles, my tabs, lights. That's okay. Starting top. You've got a good green light. Your helmet lights are on. They look good. I see 3 tabs up. And I see 1 super handle and 2 super handles down.
Okay.
So I've got a dry half.
I have the dry half as well.
Our first view from the helmet camera of Anne McLean. Extravehicular number 1, EV1, bearing the suit with red stripes as she begins to make her way first to the S0 truss for the deployment of the bag of alignment tools for future radiator replacement work should that become necessary. She and Nick Hague, who will be wearing the helmet camera designated 17 in that lower right-hand corner that you see, they then will press on to the P4 truss, the port 4 truss segment of the International Space Station on the left side of the station's backbone to set up the work site that they will be at for the rest of today's activities to install adapter plates and to move a couple of old nickel hydrogen batteries around for temporary stowage on the International Space Station. So, there.
Great. Yep. Okay, is attached to 3423.
Copy Delta is attached to 3423. And so on, my green hook is down. Copy Nick, your green hook down on 3439. Triples unlocked.
And Tama, the Alpha is hooked to the nadir stanchion of the starboard handrail of this nadir keel.
copy, and I would like to remind you to check that this MLI flap beneath the 3423 is secured to structure. We didn't hear that call if you made it.
Yes, the Delta is connected to 3423.
Yeah, we copy Delta is connected. We want to make sure that this MLI flap underneath handrail 3423 is still secured to structure.
I see. No, actually, it's not on structure. I think it's got to move on the handrail.
Yeah, understood.
Copy.
MLI flap is secure underneath the handrail. We copy, Nick. That flap is underneath the handrail. It's a good config. You can move on to the next shot.
And Bravo in my hand.
Working on Charlie. Really don't have it. Really hook is down on the, we're calling this the mater starboard handrail on the port side of the truss. Copy, those are good words. We see with 3 straps attached, and there's still Bravo to go.
And Bravo is about to be attached to the starboard extension.
You need slack, I can give you some.
No, Bravo is now attached to the starboard extension of 3437.
We copy all 4 straps are attached. You can now cinch those straps so that the V-guide bag is as secure to structure as can be and not interfering with the OTSD or the ATA.
Copy. And you want me to do Bravo first or kind of send lower away from that OTSD? What do you think, Nick?
I need to get Delta up here because right now the Charlie strap is going right over the top of the end of it, so I need to move it more to the starboard.
Okay.
So,
I'll hold.
stand by. Yeah, nice. That's a good movement.
Okay, how's that?
That's good. Okay. That's clearance we've got ground. I'm going to snap some photos. Copy, Nick.
And an excellent view of Anne McClain wearing the suit with the red stripes through this view from one of the enhanced high-definition cameras on the truss of the International Space Station. The station is currently flying 248 miles just south of the Aleutian Islands, moving from northwest to southeast.
And come on, you finish up those photos. You want me to start moving toward the front face?
Yes, it's correct. While Nick is finishing that up, and you can start moving. If you haven't done so, obviously you can release your BRT red from the bag and start translating. Your med rates are both looking good right now. So you go to phase 1.
Copy and work. And my BRT red is currently in the crew lock bag. I did release my V-guide bag red to my workstation.
Copy, you released your V workstation red from the bag. It's a good config. And while you're on your way, if you can find a good time to give us a glove and a hat check, and same for you, Nick.
Okay, I'll stop right here and get that. both gloves have no change for damage, and my hat is still dry.
Copy, Ann. Good gloves and dry hat. You're free to move on. On the seat of Andrew.
I'm out over PMS.
Leads off. Heading towards phase 1.
If you turn that corner up by phase 1, I'll double check that my tender didn't get caught on something. I think it might have gotten hung up on something just below phase 1 that you might be able to pick out.
I'll check it out.
Thanks. That's the starboard cedar part.
Yeah. Did get hung up a little bit.
Okay.
Be careful not to get you behind me.
Yeah, Nick, we see you. Yeah, you got it. You got it. It's off now. Good job. Well done. And whenever you're ready to cross the Sarge, make sure that you have your gauntlets in place for us, please.
Hey, copy. I'm just ready to translate off the point cedar part. I've got the 8-10 bar.
Copy. And for your info, we still don't have WVS, but well, we're gonna get it soon. So for now, we don't see your helmet cameras.
Copy. Just want your clearance down with the air too far. There you go. You're looking good.
Okay, thank you.
And Nick, we'd like you to paracycle your WVS for us, please.
Copy. Good work.
Thank you.
WVS off. VVS on.
3 minutes into today's spacewalk, Anne McClain making her way down the truss of the station to the work site of the P4 or Port 4 truss, where she and Nick Hague will be working to move adapter plates and to relocate two old nickel hydrogen batteries on top of those adapter plates for storage on the International Space Station. This coming in the wake of a week's worth of robotics by robotic flight controllers both here in Houston and at the Canadian Space Agency in Saint-Hubert, Quebec, who worked throughout the week to relocate 4 old nickel hydrogen batteries for ultimate disposal, and 3 of the new lithium-ion batteries that were robotically relocated into slots on the integrated electronics assembly, the big electronics relay system that is at the base of one of the solar arrays on the port truss of the station.
Translate to see the cart clear of the empty coupler, a few inches, and then rotate the knob to capture.
Okay. And that is complete.
Excellent. You can now translate the CA cart outboard and align the inboard edge of the CA cart with the edge of the EP. We have a mile marker for you, but we'll rely on your judgment.
Copy that.
Copy, Ann. You're at the aft, the nadir side of the IEA. You can install this APFR in WIF10 if you haven't done so already. I have settings for you.
And I believe it's 5128 for the crew lock bag.
The crew lock bag, correct, is 5128. That's the short one, but really, if you like the other one next to it, nearby, it's good as well.
Okay, thanks.
This is Mission Control Houston. Good view of Anne McClain as she works at the integrated electronics assembly, the electronic grid, if you will, for the P4 truss, the 4A power channel for the International Space Station. Again, setting up equipment for the upcoming relocation of a trio of adapter plates and the repositioning of 2 old nickel hydrogen batteries on those adapter plates as part of the reconfiguration and upgrade to the power system for today, the 4A channel, and a week from today, the 2A power channel on the port truss of the station.
Going Nick.
It's going good. I'm just getting the PTT out right now. I'm doing a cow.
Okay.
Gotta drive this one bolt first on the sea before we get after play day out. How about you?
Get my ticket scoop on.
And just to be specific, that scoop on the H2, you can use for translation because H2 is actually installed, but that scoop on H1, the bolt underneath is released, so that's why you cannot use that one for translation.
Do you understand?
And that's really my bad. I should have told you to install H2 first, and you would have been in a good configuration.
Okay, we're getting in there.
Okay, tomorrow I've got the PGT out. It's Pascal, good LED test, see for setting.
Copy, Nick. Sounds good. Your settings are alpha 7, clockwise 2.
Alpha 7, clockwise 2, set.
That's a good readback.
And come on, the scoop on H2 is installed in the 6 o'clock position.
Copy, the scoop is installed at the 6 o'clock position. You can release the AT, hand it back to the crew lock bag and close it back.
Okay. And it is released, but I'll get everything back inside the bag.
Copy.
Tomorrow I've got the hex pull or the hex driver down into H2 on adapter plate Charlie, 1 line flush.
Copy, Nick. And you can check your gloves, and you'll report after the next call to Nick. And Nick, you're free to retorque AP Charlie with the EP PGT. You should install the hex driver onto H2, confirm one line flush, and there you go.
One line flush.
Copy, one line flush. You go to that AP Charlie H2. 10 seconds from the handover, you guys. And you can start translating back to the EP. And you'll need the BRT for that, so Nick, make sure you're in a position to hand that, the PGT, to hand the PGT to answer that task. Sorry, the PGT to hand the PGT to answer.
Copy, and I am BRT ready to receive the PGT. I do have my BRT read to the AP. Go ahead and lock that out. And it's locked out.
Copy, you have that red locked out on the AP Bravo, and the settings for your PGT are going to be Alpha 7, counterclockwise 2.
And I see Alpha 7, counter 2 is set.
You gotta wait a little more to. There you go. That's one line.
Approaching the 2-hour mark in today's spacewalk by McLean and Haig, a couple of additional questions coming into us on hashtag AskNASA. This one asks, is that a toolbox tethered to the astronauts? It's basically, it's called a mini workstation. It is a toolbox of sorts in which the astronauts have a variety of small tools that they can use for a variety of different tasks. They have easy access to that. They also have other tools in bags that are carried around and positioned at the various work sites that they conduct their business at. But the mini workstation that is actually attached to their chest, that is one of the prime locations for some of the tools that are used during any spacewalk. The next question asks, why do the astronauts have mirrors on their gloves? The mirrors on the gloves are designed to provide the astronauts a capability to see beyond the limited peripheral vision that they have when they have their helmets on. And the mirrors can allow them to see behind them and provide a greater visual acuity to either side as they work and focus on the tasks right in front of them.
Why did you turn that PGT off OFF?
You're just coming back? Alright.
And we see you guys have performed the red swap, and we need you to be in a good stable body position to hold that battery while Anne is going to roll this APFR back to Foxtrot.
And you can let go, I got it.
Okay, you have the battery.
I'll get the battery.
2 hours, 31 minutes into the spacewalk, the electrical systems officer reports a good electrical connection between one of the new lithium-ion batteries and the adapter plate adjacent to it. In the integrated plate, this shell game, moving adapter plates and batteries, both old and new, from one slot to another. In the power upgrade for the 4A power channel on the port truss of the station. A week from today, McLean to be joined outside by NASA's Christina Cook to do similar work on the opposite side of the face of the truss for the 2A power channel.
Okay, I'm back to work.
And Nick would like you to watch for possible contact between the battery and the AP, and those things are huge.
Okay, we got 15.9 turns, 9.1 torque, green light.
Copy 9.1 turns, 15.9 turns, and green light. Can you check the status indicator on this battery if it traveled too long?
And the status indicator is locked for H2.
Okay, that's a good config for H2, well done. And now you can move your PGT to...
While Anne McLean bolts this old nickel hydrogen battery into place on top of an adapter plate on the P4 truss's integrated electronics assembly, more questions coming in, and we urge you to keep them coming in at #AskNASA. This question: is there any propulsion on the astronaut's spacesuit if the tether breaks? Great question for the voice of reason.
5.5 turns.
The propulsion to enable an astronaut that should become untethered back to the safety of the space station, back to Station Strucker, is called a SAFER unit. Simplified aid for EVA rescue is the acronym. That is a small jet-powered backpack. You can see it mounted on Anne McLean's spacesuit in this view. It uses nitrogen gas thrusters, small little thrusters that would be used in the highly unlikely event an astronaut would become untethered from the myriad of tethers that they use for safety while working outside. This view of McLean on the left, Nick Hague on the right, showing those SAFER units, the simplified aid for EVA rescue, jet-powered backpacks affixed to their spacesuits.
Which is that empty slot.
Next question: how long does it take for astronauts to be fitted in their suits? Typically, as was the case in the wee hours this morning, the suit-up process takes about 3 hours to complete. That is followed by the breathing of pure oxygen to cleanse nitrogen out of the spacewalkers' bloodstreams and avoid a condition known as decompression sickness from occurring when they step out into the vacuum of space. So it's about a 3-hour process to get fitted into their suits in preparation for a spacewalk. Finally, how many adapter plates do you have to attach? In this spacewalk and the next one a week from today, there are a total of 6 adapter plates that were flown up with 6 new lithium-ion batteries. One battery and one adapter plate replaces 2 nickel hydrogen batteries in the new set of power upgrades that are being conducted at the station. So 3 adapter plates were robotically installed earlier in the week in various locations on the grid for the integrated electronics assembly. 3 more on the opposite side of the truss, the P4 truss, for the next power channeled